Hello there, it's me again, Mr. Eric, and this video is going to be a little different. This is basically a video apologizing for all my previous videos. Well, it's really apologizing for everything I've done on social networks, because I got MySpace accounts where everybody's pissed off at me, and Facebook account where everybody's pissed off at me, and Twitter account and YouTube account, everybody's pissed off at me. And I was told a long time ago, when you got a problem like that, you got to look at the least common denominator, and that would be me. You know, the whole world can't be wrong. If they all mad at me, they must be right, so I must be wrong. I'm going to apologize. And it's not easy to apologize, but I'm going to do it because it's the right thing to do, and I don't want people to be mad at me. So anyways, I got a list here of some of the different articles I've done on my little social networking and information websites and video websites, and I won't go into all the details of every one. Just a quick apology. I did a thing about greed and consumerism, and I was saying that those people that had them huge mortgages and big old car notes and credit card debt deserve what they got. And a lot of people were mad at me, and I guess I should have known that was coming, since so many people are in trouble with that. And I got to thinking, I should have never posted anything like that. My mom and daddy had a mortgage on the house. Of course, it was a normal size house that, you know, big enough for mama and daddy and me and my brother. We shared a bedroom. But it's only because of love that people will sign away. You know, my parents' mortgage, I think, was 5 years. And from what I understand, people are signing away 35 years of their life to get all this stuff nowadays. And so that's can only be out of love, you know? For a husband to go off 60 hours a week and the wife to go off the other way 60 hours a week, and the kids being able to come home to this beautiful, beautiful home with a big old TV set, record player, them games you hook up to the, I don't know if it's hooked straight to the TV or the record player, but somehow you can play games with your electronics. But in any case, I'm apologizing to all of you, and I mean all of you, not just some of you. I mean even the people that had to file bankruptcy because all that worthless ass shit they bought that they didn't need. I apologize to them too. Oh, and on greed, it leads into another thing I did about gluttony. I did a little bit of research about health, and they had a article I read got me all upset, and I went and blasted it about how Americans were all gluttons. About 75% of Americans are practicing gluttons, and man, made a lot of people mad. I wasn't saying this about anybody in particular, just saying in general. In general, gluttony's bad. And in fact, quite a few of my friends told me the same exact thing, so they got to be right. Each one of them said, I'm not fat because I'm a glutton. I'm fat because I got a medical condition. And after I listened to a few of them, I got to figuring something out. If you suffer from plague, potato famine, or consumption, you're going to get skinny. But any other disease, you're going to get fat. And, you know, I didn't know that. Didn't think about it. But that's a good thing, because when the apocalypse comes and the oil runs out and there ain't no more food, people that's healthy like me going around making fun of fat people, we're going to just shrivel up into nothing and die. And all of y'all going to just keep getting fatter and fatter. Might live 100 years. Oh, and later on I found out that this article about gluttony in the United States had come from the international community. And I think a lot of the reason they wrote that is because they're all pissed off because, you know, we went over there and blew up their country and destroyed all their food. And fact is, if they had all their food still, they'd probably be gluttons too. I mean, they'd probably be obese. You know, they just, I don't know. We'll go and skip on to the next one. Next one is about Iraq, since we started talking about bombs. Well, I can't really apologize for Iraq right now. I had this thing all figured out how I was going to apologize for, you know, all my unsubstantiated claims about the atrocities the Americans were doing in Iraq. And, well, you know, they just released like, I don't know, 40,000 documents about atrocities done in Iraq. And I guess until they clear all that up, I better just, you know, zip it. Iraq. leads into racism, because you can't fight a war unless you're against that race. You know, you got to just hate them people to go over there and kill them all. And but the thing I was doing, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but I just said racism was wrong, and you need to check into your heart, because if you're a racist, you need to change before you get a God mad at you. And here's another one where I got my thing to say and everybody got theirs, and they all pretty much in agreement, because almost every one of them says, I am not a racist. I simply would not permit one of my children to have a romantic relationship with one of those because, well, they didn't ever say because. They just say I wouldn't allow one of my children to have a romantic relationship with one of those. So, I'm sure they got their reason. I'm sure they ain't racist. And I didn't accuse them of being racist. I was just talking about racism in general. And, in fact, one of them went as far as to say, everybody talks about us white people being racist, but if you ask me, it's them effing the people of color that's racist. Right? He didn't say people of color using the N-word, but that's just slip of the tongue, I'm sure. I have slip of the tongue, and in fact, here I am. I'm apologizing for all these things because of slip of the tongue, so I can't point the finger at somebody else. Racism leads into immigration. I had read that and it's impossible for a Mexican to get legal status in the United States. Why they would want to come over here in the first place, I don't know. But they want to come over legally, but they won't let them. They said if they fill out the paperwork, they'll get back with them in 25 years. 25 years to become a citizen of this country. That's like a special prize. But, and I said something about that and got my ass chewed. Later on, I found out that if for $25,000 paid under the table to the judges and the lawyers that run immigration, you can get to be an American citizen like that. Or at least get legal papers to be here. Probably a lot of them people, coming over here to dig ditches and pick fruit and stuff, they just ain't got $25,000. But, it's only fair. For a person in the United States who becomes handicapped, who's paid into Social Security all their life, they have to pay $5,200. That's how much it costs every time to get your Social Security. That goes to the judges and lawyers. And I guess they're figuring if a cripple can come up with that much money, then a working, able-bodied man ought to be able to come up with 5 times that. And that's only fair. And that leads us to another one I got. I guess I'm about to run out of these. Or I got them plenty, but I don't have the time. But the medical system, the corrupt medical system, boy, I took some heat on that one. And from what I understand, I was in the wrong again, because I had just done a simple Google search that said that the international community, once again, international community, said that in the modern world, the United States of America had the most corrupt and inefficient medical system in the world. And later on, foot in mouth, I went back and did the same research after I got my ass chewed, and sure enough, as I was doing my Google search, when I got to page 40, got to some American Medical Society saying that the U.S. medical system was the greatest on earth. See, all them other ones was from international community. That don't count. That's got a lot of foreigners in it. So, and look, I could go on and on all day apologizing, but what I'll do, instead of apologizing, we're just going to go with action. From now on, I will never, ever post a video or a comment about any kind of a social injustice. The thing I was planning on doing about how the Constitution written by our founding fathers was the greatest document to freedom on earth, and the irony of the fact that they was all slave owners that wrote it, won't do nothing about that. The Native American genocide, I had just read some kind of article about how Adolf Hitler, even though he hated America, he admired the genocide of the people that lived here when the Europeans got here. He said, if they can kill 12 million Indians with primitive means, just think of how easy it's going to be to kill 6 million Jews with modern technology. And, to me that just seems like a pretty innocuous story, but sometimes seems like the things I think don't bother people, that gets me the most hate. So you won't see nothing about that. And I could go on, but just please accept my apology and know I'll never do that again. Thank you very much. This is Mr. Eric. Bye-bye.